From the NMSU Department of Journalism and Media Studies in collaboration with KRWG, this is the student-produced News 22, where news matters.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Aleka Darko.
And I'm Jacqueline Reese. As in other parts of the country, immigration and custom agents are rounding up people working on construction sites. In mid-January, they targeted 3 work sites and arrested 38 people with the help of local Texas law enforcement.
2 of the work sites were in El Paso, the 3rd in Santa Teresa. They charged 38 undocumented immigrants with illegal re-entry. 4 were charged with felony illegal re-entry and 2 with final orders of removal. Agents also found migrant children ages 15 to 17 who they say were unlawfully employed. ICE transferred them to the Health and Human Services Office of Refuge Settlement. 2 teens are in custody. 1 is charged in the shooting death of a 37-year-old man. It happened last Sunday at about 12:30 in the morning.
Yes, the Doñana County Sheriff's Office says the shooting happened in the 8900 block of Ivory Wing Lane off Highway 70. Court records show 18-year-old Andres Martinez is charged with 1 count of first-degree murder in addition to tampering with evidence, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The second suspect is a juvenile, so has not been named. A former Las Cruces police officer is appealing his voluntary manslaughter conviction. Felipe Hernandez was convicted last October in the shooting death of Teresa Gomez.
On October 3rd, 2023, Hernandez had a tense interaction with Gomez. She started her car and put it in reverse. Hernandez fired 3 shots, killing her. Hernandez was sentenced to 6 years for voluntary manslaughter and 5 years for the firearm enhancement. He was fined $5,000 and will be on parole and probation for 4 years after his sentence.
It's been getting pretty hot outside.
And windy.
Yes, it has, but the great thing is we are trending downward. So let's take a look at our live look cam. Well, we are actually going to our first look at weather. So today the skies were sunny and the temperature was at 71 degrees. The winds were very calm at 7 miles per hour coming from the west, and our humidity was at 13%. Our dew point was at 14 degrees, and our barometric pressure was at 29.99, almost 30 inches there. Now our high today was 81, and our historical average has been at 66 degrees, and our low will be at 43. Our record was in 1999 at 82 degrees, so we were very close to that today. And our record low was in 1971 at 13 degrees. Today, no rain, and for the year, we are still at 1.96 inches for the year. So that's all I have for our first look at weather. Back to Jacqueline and Aleka.
Time to start filing, but stay tuned. Mikey will be back with your national weather forecast.
I'm Michaela Malazzi, and I'm back with a brand new season of Bare Feet, where I continue to connect with the world, one dance at a time. Join me for this new season 8 of dance and music adventures from around the world.
Saturday morning at 9:30 on KRWG-Public Media.
Having aired in the U.S. and internationally for over 3 decades, Wailana Yoga helped pioneer the modern-day yoga movement. With her clear and authentic instruction set against spectacular scenic backdrops and uplifting music, Wailana makes yoga easily accessible and enjoyable for people of all backgrounds and experience levels.
Sunday morning at 6:30 on KRWG Public Media.
Mikey, what can you tell us about the national weather?
Thanks, Aleka. Thanks, Jacqueline. Now, we have a weather system that is moving through, looking at our conditions outside of the borderlands. Like I said, we have a very active weather pattern expected across the U.S. and Canada over the next 2 weeks. And that includes heavy snow and ice, heavy rains, and severe weather with big temperature swings throughout the lower 48. Rainfall is going to be expected from North Texas through Missouri, Illinois, and Arkansas, and into parts of Indiana, and risk of flash floods are fairly high. It's going to be a wild week of weather, so stay alert for those traveling outside of our viewing areas. Now, let's talk about the blood moon that happened this morning. Going on to our next graphic, thank you to everyone who either stayed up late or woke up super early and sent us your incredible photos online. We loved seeing your view of the blood moon from across the region. And for those that were still in bed like me, here's what we missed during the total lunar eclipse. The Earth moved directly between the sun and the moon, casting a shadow that turned the moon a deep reddish orange. That dramatic glow happens because sunlight bends through the Earth's atmosphere, and the same effect that gives us vivid sunrises and sunsets. And the next total lunar eclipse visible from New Mexico will be just a few years away, around June 25th or 26th of 2029. Now, looking at our last graphic, a reminder for our viewers before heading to bed on Saturday night, don't forget, it's time to spring forward. Clocks move ahead 1 hour at 2 a.m. Sunday morning as daylight saving time begins. We'll lose an hour of sleep, but gain more daylight in the evening, and perfect for those longer spring days ahead. It's also a great time to check the batteries in your smoke detectors and carbon monoxide alarms while you're resetting your clocks. That's all I have for our national weather. We'll come back after the break to look at your local conditions.
Welcome back to our sewing room for the 4700 series of Love of Quilting.
These new episodes are packed with fresh skills and inspiring projects, from bold, large-scale patchwork to quick and satisfying small designs.
Let's explore new and creative techniques like using a compensation plate for bulky seams, couching yarn to embellish, and even dyeing quilts with indigo.
From piecing and quilting to our beloved viewer tips, stitch along with us on this season of Love of Quilting.
Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. on KRWG Public Media.
Are you getting KRWG's Airwaves digital program guide in your email? If not, there's an easy and convenient way to get it delivered straight to your inbox. Simply go to krwg.org, click on the button that says Subscribe to Airwaves Online, fill out your email information, and just like that, you'll be on your way to receiving Airwaves up to 2 weeks before the beginning of the month via email. KRWG Public Media, powered by you.
And welcome back to News 22 Tuesday. Let's take a look at our current conditions throughout the state right now. Up in the northern part, it's in the 50s and 60s, and down south, it is a little bit warmer. We are enjoying 71 degrees down here in Las Cruces and in Deming. Going on to our conditions for tomorrow, it's going to be in the 60s again, up in the north, in the 70s towards the middle of the state, and we're going to be nice and warm for at least 1 or 2 more days in the 80s here in the southern part of the state. Now, let's take a look at each city. In Alamogordo, it's going to be clear and 55 degrees tonight. Tomorrow, it's going to be clear as well, sunny with a high of 77 degrees. Now, in Truth or Consequences, it's going to be 70 degrees tonight and clear as well. And tomorrow, it's going to be a high of 79 and clear and sunny. For Silver City, it's going to be a colder 48 degrees, clear conditions, as well as tomorrow it's going to be a high of 71 and mostly sunny. And here at home in Las Cruces, it's going to be 57 and clear tonight with a high of 80 tomorrow and mostly sunny as well. That's all I have for our local conditions. Take it back to Jacqueline and Aleka.
And Diego Gallegos is next with sports.
Thanks, guys. Coming up in sports, a plethora of Las Cruces high school teams made the state tournament, and we're going to check out their paths to the gold. You can toss that remote because News 22 Sports is next.
I'm Samantha Brown, and I'm always looking to find the destinations, the experiences, and most importantly, the people who make us feel like we're really a part of a place. That's why I have a love of travel and why these are my places to love.
Saturday at 7 p.m. on KRWG Public Media.
KRWG-TV's public file is available at 2915 McPhee Circle in Milton Hall, Room 117 on the campus of New Mexico State University. Regular business hours are from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1 to 5 p.m. weekdays. You can also view the file online at publicfiles.fcc.gov.
On this season of Patty's Mexican Table, we are in the Yucatan Peninsula. ¡Qué rico! I'm going to take all the things I learned here and put them to use in my kitchen so that you can use them too.
Friday at 2:30 p.m. on KRWG Public Media.
This is KRWG-TV News 22 Sports.
For the win! He got it!
Welcome back. I'm Diego Gallegos, and let's talk sports. Now, out of absolutely nowhere, 29-year-old Chicago Bears center Drew Dahlman is retiring. After spending 4 years with the Atlanta Falcons, Dahlman was the marquee signing for a Chicago Bears offensive line who this year were ranked first in pass protection. The Bears will now look to free agency to fill the wide gap their Pro Bowl center now leaves behind. This is the second surprise retirement from the NFC North center after 28-year-old Lions center Frank Ragnow retired last year. As of now, it is unclear what the reasoning was behind Dahlman's decision. And the NMSU baseball team added to their season win streak this weekend with back-to-back wins over Prairie View A&M. The weekend ended with a 16-1 run rule victory over the Panthers. That included 4 straight scoring innings for the Aggies and a piling of 14 total hits. The highlight reel was made by sophomore infielder Boston Vest, who went 3 for 4 on hits and brought in 2 runs with 2 RBIs. With the wins, the Aggies extend their streak to 4 games, heading into an I-25 date with the New Mexico Lobos, which is happening right now as we speak. Selection Sunday took place this weekend, and it wasn't too shabby of a night for Las Cruces schools. On the boys' side, all 4 schools managed to make it in. After winning the district title, the Centennial Hawks sit at top of the mountain as the 7th seed. They will host a home game against the Carlsbad Cavemen. Now across the city with a better record but a disappointing finish to the year, including a 2-point overtime loss to the Hawks, the Las Cruces Bulldogs will be playing their Albuquerque counterparts in the Albuquerque High Bulldogs. Oregon Mountain and Mayfield will be going on the road at 12 and 14 seeds respectively, but with no undefeated teams in 5A this year, the race is wide open for the Blue Trophy to come to Las Cruces for the first time since 2020. And flipping a coin onto the girls' side, it's virtually the same story. District winner the Centennial Hawks will have their own mirror match against the Volcano Vista Hawks. Not far behind in Las Cruces is a 8-9 matchup, and finally Mayfield goes north to face the Los Lunas Tigers. All 3 teams will likely have to face the 25-2 Hobbs Eagles, who have been to the final dance in 7 of the last 8 seasons. And that's all for sports tonight. Join us for more sports action tomorrow. Still ahead on News 22, Mikey will be back to take a look at your 5-day weather forecast. But first, you've seen monster trucks go big, but wait till you see what happens when they're cut in half. At the Doña County Fairgrounds, one mechanic proves sometimes less really is more. More on that when News 22 continues.
What's up, Nightlights? Trace here. This Wednesday is the full moon of March, known as the worm moon, crow moon, sap moon, sugar moon, all for similar reasons. It means spring is upon us. Though the full moon can wash out all but the brightest sky objects, it means it's a good time to think about, well, the moon. In my imagination, the moon feels huge, right? But it's really only a half a degree of sky, less than a pinky width on an outstretched arm. Use a long camera lens, binoculars, or a telescope to look at the moon and see the dark gray Maria, plains of basalt rock, or Tycho's crater, named after a wild astronomer named Tycho Brahe. Definitely look him up. Moonlight can mess with astronomers' mojo, but so can artificial lights. Luckily for us, dark sky preserves exist, places where norms or laws limit light pollution for observation or environmental reasons. Dark sky sites are amazing vacation spots. Think about it this summer and keep looking up.
Let's take a look at our top stories.
In mid-January, Immigration and Customs targeted 3 work sites and arrested 38 people with the help of local Texas law enforcement. 2 teens are in custody. One is charged in the shooting death of 37-year-old man. It happened last Sunday at 12:30 in the morning. When you think of monster truck rally, you probably think bigger is better. But one Utah mechanic is making his race car even smaller.
Hundreds of folks gathered at the Doña County Fairgrounds last month for the Monster Truck Insanity Tour. There were trucks as tall as houses and racing lawnmowers. But one thing you won't see on anyone else's tour is Jeremy Pitchard's own invention.
About 2 years ago, the company says we'd like to see some type of race that's not common. And this is what I thought of. We just cut them in half and thought, well, no one's seen that. We'll race them only half of the car.
Monster Truck Insanity is touring the Mountain West and will be coming back to Las Cruces next year if you want to do the math on half cars yourself.
Are we driving or riding on one? Both? Okay. Let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. It's going to be pretty standard, 80 degrees to start off with on Wednesday. It's going to cool down Friday and Saturday, and it's going to be lows in the 40s and just one day in the 30s and yeah, pretty standard for the rest of the week, and on Sunday in the 70s. That's all I have for our 5-day.
Great, and that's all for News 22 Tuesday. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight.
Tune in tomorrow night for more news, but don't go too far because Yereri Chinchilla is next with Noticias 22 in Español. I'm Aleka Darko.
And I'm Jacqueline Reese. And from the whole News 22 team, have a good night.
This news brief en español is brought to you by Noticias 22, la información más completa de Nuevo México, El Paso y la frontera. Noticias 22.
Buenas tardes, les saluda con mucho gusto Yureidi Chinchilla y estas son las noticias de hoy. El alguacil del condado de Doña Ana confirmó que 2 adolescentes están bajo custodia. Uno de ellos acusado por el tiroteo que causó la muerte de un hombre de 37 años de edad el pasado domingo después de medianoche. De acuerdo a los expedientes judiciales, Andrés Martínez, de 18 años, fue detenido el sábado pasado, acusado de asesinato, manipulación de pruebas, agresión agravada con arma mortal. El alguacil del condado de Doña Ana no reveló el nombre del segundo sospechoso menor de edad, quien también fue arrestado. El Servicio de Inmigración y Control de Aduanas reveló el arresto de inmigrantes en sitios de construcción en El Paso durante un operativo de ejecución dirigido entre el 11 y el 19 de enero. Las autoridades locales dirigieron una operación de 9 días en lugar de los hechos, capturando a 38 inmigrantes indocumentados por reingreso ilegal al país. 4 de los inmigrantes fueron acusados de reingreso ilegal y 2 recibieron órdenes definitivas de expulsión. También se encontraron inmigrantes menores entre 15 y 17 años, empleados ilegalmente. El Servicio de Deportación los transfirió a la Oficina de Servicios Humanitarios y Salud para Refugiados. Hasta aquí con la información del día de hoy. Yo soy Yureidi Chinchilla y no se olviden seguirnos en nuestras redes sociales, YouTube, Instagram y Facebook. Que tengan buena noche. Gracias.